What's up, everybody? I train athletes with my brother at Aqua Strength Performance, and I also train myself. So I'm going to be documenting some of that training, starting a little YouTube video series of what I do in the gym as I am trying to swim as fast as I can. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Alrighty, here we go. Normally I start off with just a couple of warm-up movements that I like to do. These are things we do in the gym at Aqua Strength Performance with the athletes that come in and work with us. Here I'm just doing a couple of scat push-ups, then a couple of normal push-ups. I'll move into a couple different things here, start moving the spine a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and head into world's greatest stretch after this before I move into the next pieces. This right here is the world's greatest stretch. I love this one, hence the name. It's a good combination of spine movement as well as hip, and it really just gets my body feeling right and prepares me before I start heading into some of my actual plyo work and then lifts. Next up, I grab a foam roller here and I actually lay it vertically upwards along my spine. I start doing a little bit of shoulder mobility here. This is some stuff I've been doing for honestly since I was a young kid. It always just helps me open up my chest a little bit, get the shoulders moving in some different ranges of motion. Laying on that foam roller like that really just helps to open up my shoulders and just be in a different position. I feel like my posture isn't great and I'm always kind of hunched forward. So this just helps me lay down and open those up a little bit and get moving. This next one right here is another personal favorite. I don't even really have a specific name for these. I usually just call these like openers or something like that. I lay that foam roller vertically again and then prop my leg up on top of it. Then I go ahead and just open my shoulders up across. It really helps with some of the thoracic spine mobility, and it just feels so good. And I feel like it helps to prep my upper body. Then again, I move into some more kind of the end of my spine work. Here I'm hitting some spine waves, getting into some flexion and extension, making sure I'm working through a full range of motion here, all the way down, all the way back. These spine waves are a part of a series of 3, and as you can see, I'm getting into number 2 right here. These are just lateral bends. This is also just getting the spine to move laterally, bending, extending in a different plane. And then the last one you're going to see here, right after I finish up these couple of bends, is going to be just some spinal twists. So I'll put my arms out like that and then literally just twist. I mean, this is just working on spinal rotation, making sure I'm moving that spine on all 3 planes of motion. Really helps with anything to do with your back and just feeling mobile. Here's a thread the needle. I went ahead and put my knee up on that bench, just help with a little bit of hip mobility as well too. And then yeah, I finish up here with a back bend. I'm not amazing at these yet, so I put my feet up on top of a bench to help me get into the position a little bit better. Yep, just moving the spine again, getting some better range of motion, and just trying to be more mobile. So we've pretty much finished up with the warm-up and mobility aspects. Now we go ahead and head into a couple of crawl variations. I love these. These really get my shoulders warmed up and moving, help with stabilizing some of those muscles, strengthening some of those intrinsic muscles as well, and just moving my body in different ways. It's really important to help prevent dysfunction from just constantly swimming laps, getting the shoulders to move in different ways, strengthen them in different ways. And yeah, here you can see I'm going sideways a little bit. I was going backwards earlier, all kinds of things like that. Here we go. This is some of my favorite stuff right here. Now I'm getting into my plyo work. Here I set a timer for a couple of seconds and I'm literally just hopping on one foot, trying to move as fast as I can. This stuff right here just like gets my CNS absolutely firing. I feel like it preps me to then move into some weights, but we'll continue with the plyo work here. I head outside, getting some one-legged hops, just trying to become more athletic, all stuff I don't get in the pool. Here we go, some bound jumps. Landing on one, back on the other, leap, doing athletic movements again, keeping it simple, but just kind of doing a bunch of random jump stuff. Here I'm just going broad jumps. You can see I got the bands set up to just mark how far I'm jumping. It's always good to set PRs and set markers so you know how far to jump, and it'll just push you, honestly, to jump further. Last couple of leaps here. I think this should be it. That was my furthest one right there. Alrighty, now we get into the sprints. Sometimes I just do normal sprints. Today I went ahead and grabbed a tennis ball to do some chase drills. I feel like this can really up your sprint game. I think I genuinely move faster chasing that tennis ball. And it kind of mimics athletic competition a little bit, things that you would do in a sporting event. Just tossing that ball and then literally running as fast as I can to catch up to it. Very potent stimulus. Again, firing the CNS, just trying to become overall more athletic and faster. Time to get into the lift here. This first block, we're gonna start off with a single leg squat. I put one of my legs up on a box right there just to give me a better range of motion. Stick that leg out, drop down, tap the heel. I really try not to put any weight onto that foot that's touching the ground, just so I'm pushing up pretty much only with my leg that's on the box. These ones are pretty hard and I suck at them, but I've been doing them for a few weeks now and I'm getting a lot better at them. Next up on the first block, we got a inverted row. This is my pulling variation for the day. As you can see, I set up a band across those rack holders just to add a little bit of extra resistance on that pulling motion. And then number 3 on this block, we're gonna go dumbbell incline press, and I went ahead and put my feet up against my freezer. This is just so that I'm not pushing off of the ground. Normally that's totally fine, but for this variation, I really just wanted to focus on pushing through my chest, getting a little bit of rotation through the sternum and shoulders. I really liked this one. I saw this posted from someone else. I actually haven't done this variation before, but it worked out really well. And I'm definitely gonna keep this in my program for now. After the first block, I go into a lower body isometric hold. Here I'm doing Chris Korfis's stiff ankle series, literally just balancing on the toes or the balls of my feet on one foot, trying to keep my ankle as high as I can. Alrighty, block 2. Here we got an ab exercise. This is a dumbbell overhead windmill. The leg that's up on the foot, I'm holding the dumbbell in that arm and then crunching down, keeping my eyes up on my hand and then pulling back up. Here we got some eccentric pull-ups. Nice 3 seconds on the way down, really working some of those shoulders and overhead pulling muscles. Last part of block 2 is just a trap bar RDL, focusing on strengthening those hamstrings and the posterior chain. After the conclusion of block 2, I get into my last piece, an upper body isometric. Here we have a single arm plank with my feet elevated. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or want to know anything or the continuation or have any ideas, please leave a comment. And again, please like and subscribe.